at 50 psi at 7:30p. So yeah, probably about 9 o'clock at the latest. We should be able to pull that out. But I'm glad I have extra Euro tubes, because that mess right there is what did us in on our Euro tubes. Didn't have enough for those. I wanted to make sure I got full sets done. So, take that off of there, put it back on here. Sorry for the shuffling noises, y'all. There we go. There we go. Try to minimize that shuffling noise. All right, so we're going to come back over here. Boom. Now you should only have one mic sound. Same with when we get together to the other scene. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to see if we can get a little llama/alpaca carving. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I was concerned about. We're going to go to... I think we're going to try and do the alpaca. Kind of have fun with that. We also have like Gigi's emote. Let's see if I still have that handy here. See if I can find it handy. Easy. Maybe I don't have it. I'm a bad friend. I don't see it. So maybe I don't have it. But anyway, I think we're going to do like the little alpaca. I think that's what we're going to try and do. So I'm going to keep that up on my second screen. Got my tools handy. It would be nice actually if I can kind of finish it before I get my coins made. That way I can send it out with the coins. That'd be fun. There's my glove so I don't chop my fingers off like Cass was implying earlier. I have been finding myself, Cass, you mentioned not watching shows a whole lot. I've been finding myself more lately having just watching YouTube videos. Kind of fallen in the YouTube rabbit hole. So normally I'll just watch, and I watch them on like double speed. I don't watch them at single speed. It drives my wife nuts. She's like, how can you do that? How do you watch those things at double speed? I don't know how people can watch full 45-minute long YouTube videos at regular speed. But anyway. All right, so let's swap over here. Try and do some carving. Let's see if we can carve a little alpaca for Gigi. Oh, why put that away? But whatever. All right, so I'm gonna have our handy dandy there, our handy dandy there, and I think our flex cut. I think I use our flex cut for a lot of our rough out today. We'll see. And just end up with the Drake for our rough out. Here's my thought. Here's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking pack of legs. Let's see, so it does come in like this a little bit. Could probably do that on the side that I can see better. What do you think? All right, so actually let's take a look at this. So let's kind of round this edge over here. And the back legs come down like this. Basically a nice long swoop up. Kind of use that block to our advantage here. And he's got kind of like a poofy, almost looks like a bird head, and then you got the ears. Kind of what I'm thinking there. And we'll kind of didn't leave myself extremely long leg areas, but I think if you take a look at like Gigi's alpaca, it's got kind of little short legs. So I might alter it. We might make it a little bit smaller to get the longer legs. I didn't do a great job of putting this on the saw. Let's put it that way. So, and then we've got to kind of separate them. And it's obviously not a perfectly round piece. This is actually a cut off of Boyd, so we can use that to our advantage too, as a nice little talking point. So let's do this. Let's shape the bum. Howdy, babe. How are you? How you doing tonight? How are you doing this evening? We just made a mess over in our resin area. Now, we're going to make Gigi's alpaca. Actually, I should do this. I should put this up again. Where... Doing okay. Doing okay. We're going to kind of do this guy here. We're going to go this little guy right here. I didn't make the legs long enough, so I think we're probably going to shrink it down a little bit. We'll shrink its sizes down, its dimensions, its proportions. That's the word I was looking for. Eventually, my brain thinks of the right word as I start talking. So. Is it, Cass? That's funny. That's funny. We're gonna have fun with that. It's just a fun little guy. Still gotta figure out what to carve for you, Cass. I know we've talked about like a giraffe or some other stuff, but we still gotta figure out a carving for you. All right. So how do I actually? I'm trying to think. How do I want to alter these? Come on. How do I want to alter these proportions? That's all right. We all have that. We all get into that. So this is that right there. This chip out with the grain going this way can make it very interesting to try and carve the legs. Well, see, there we go. Maybe I do keep it little stumpy legs. That's the emote I was looking for. All right, we're gonna make it with a little stumpy legs. We're gonna try and keep it as kind of that type of thing. There we go. I thought I had it, but I guess I don't. I need to sub to Gigi. Bad friend. All right, so let's do that. Let's make a nice round body. or round-ish body. And then we'll make little stumpy legs, kind of like her emote. I like that idea. That's what I was kind of thinking of originally anyway. So, wanted to kind of make it like her fun little llama there. Which I think she said she just grabbed from the internet somewhere. So, there we go. Well, babe, I am sure you've got lots of stuff you're trying to catch up on, and that's okay to lurk away. You get that done, because I know we don't help on stream usually. We usually distract a good bit, so. And I'll do my best not to engage you in having to chat as well, because I know that happens to me when I make an appearance. And I'm trying to work on something out in the workshop, and I have to go back over to the computer and the keyboard to type, thus taking me away from the work that I'm trying to do in the workshop. So. Okay, we got a little lumpy butt on this side. So deep sea, you added spinach, I can dig. Mushroom, nope. Onion, I can see that, and a little extra garlic. Okay. Is there a type of sauce that you use regularly? Are you a Prego or a ragu? Oh, thanks, Cass. Yeah, I don't know if I ever got a picture of the one my wife painted that we did for my aunt. It actually turned out very nice, so it was a nice little bonus. Howdy, Jack. How are you, sir? How are you doing this fine evening? Great work on that lantern. Great work on that lantern. Super fun stuff, my friend. You are an extremely creative person and are able to put it together very, very well in what you make. So kudos. If y'all aren't following Jack, you need to give Jack a follow. I don't know why you wouldn't be following Jack. But if you're not, do it, and do it now. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. That's probably our better bet. Solve the problems creatively, but you have to cause, so you cause the problems first. Gotcha. I started stream by saying that the kid and I are actually heading to Morgantown this end of this week, which is why I'm streaming tonight. Tomorrow is a booster meeting, and then Thursday, the kid and I are basically going to be in Morgantown, West Virginia. So I know that's not terribly far away from my friend Jack, but that'll be we're there for a college visit, so. Alright, so I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do the, that's what I figured. I thought Morgantown was about an hour away from the greater Pittsburgh metro area. So what did I see today? That Heinz Field is no longer going to be called Heinz Field. After 20 years, it's no longer going to be Heinz Field, huh? Ketchup people couldn't come off their money, huh? Unless it's just a marketing ploy by the team to get them to come off their money. And for the fans to uproar and say, no, it needs to be Heinz Field and blah, 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 blah. Although people are still going to call it Heinz Field. Whatever company. I saw it was some weird... It sounded like it was like a tech company or something. I don't think the fans will ever call it that. But... Alright, so here's what I want to try and do. We want to kind of make it like the emote. Alright. Oh, excuse me. Oy. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, they say they're going to rename it, you know, or that it's being renamed to whatever company, you know, coughed up a couple, you know, $1 million to sponsor it this year. But nobody's ever called that. I mean, it's like over in New York. It's always going to be the Tappan Zee Bridge. It's not going to be the Cuomo Bridge. It's the Tappan Zee. I'm sorry. It's always the Tappan Zee. Calling it the Cuomo Bridge. Baloney. It's the Tappan Zee. Alright, so here's my challenge. I want to try and get my little stumpy legs and shaping the body at the same time. So maybe what I need to do... Let's try and figure out where I want the legs to be. I think we're going to do the legs right about here. So let's do a stop cut here. Let's see if we can kind of shape up to that point. Try and round the bottom of this llama, this alpaca, sorry, as much as we can. Yeah, Jack, you missed me making a mess. We can see we'll see, ow, son of a gun. Yeah, there we go. Well, last Band-Aid in here for now. I did a resin pour to start. Literally just stabbed my thumb. Doing what I'm not supposed to do. Dummy. Not smart. Now, we started with a resin pour and definitely over poured on my first piece. Fortunately, it's all on a silicone mat, so that'll come off pretty easy, but... There we go. But it's a giant mess up there. We'll leave it be till the end of the night. Jack, I'm all about creative process. Please share. That's right. So that's why. And that's why. So what I did is I did that. So let's not do that again. There we go. That's probably a better way. Kind of a forced situation. I understand where you're coming from there, Jack. I think I know exactly what you're meaning. When you find yourself into a box, you've got to get creative on how to make it interesting. So you go out with no plan, hit live, and you just force it to happen. See, I've always heard that when you put yourself into very tight situations or very tight, like, requirements or stipulations, you know, or what you do is it, that will often do that. So I personally can't, I don't operate quite that well. I can't go out with absolutely no plan. I usually have an idea of what it is I want to do. So like we started with the resin pour tonight. I mean, that was because that's something I know I needed to do. So we did that. And I had kind of the llama here. Now, how I was going to carve it, kind of, you know, I roughed out this little piece from a Boyd cutoff. And, you know, so now we're just kind of free, you know, freehanding it. Didn't really sketch anything. Didn't really have anything, you know, in mind before I started it. So now we're going to try and make it as close to what's in the head as possible, or what's on the, I don't want to say on the screen because we're not making it close to that. But, you know, trying to get ourselves to that type of point. But so today, so here's a fun thing. So the markets have actually, I've only done 2 markets. Okay. Earlier last week, I think I mentioned this, I was contacted by a customer asking about a couple of the medium spoons. So, she said she liked that one. And if I had and she'd like a second one in that same type of size. Well, I didn't have one that had that same scoop shape. So I was like, well, I don't have one there, but I can probably finish one up by the end of the week. So last week, that's what I did. I think I took Tuesday night after our booster meeting. I think as I sat upstairs and carved that one. And then finished it by the end of the week. So I met her today in the parking lot. She's like, yeah, I was hoping I'd see you back out at the market. And I was like, well, I'm only going the first weekends of the month. She's like, well, because I guess she went back the next week and I wasn't there. And so she's like, well, I figured I'd just, you know, send you a message. I was like, that works too. And she's like, most people usually are pretty responsive to the messages, and you were, so sounds like. And she's like, I was thinking about getting 3, but I was like, well, let's see if I can figure out where I want to use them first. So there might be a third one coming at some point. So that's been awesome. Yes, Cass. And if you could, if there's something you're looking for, I could drop you my affiliate link for Amazon. And it doesn't cost you a lick more, and I'll get a little credit for it. Haven't been able to cash anything out from Amazon, but, you know, I think I've earned a whole 63 cents. But if you're looking for something, send me a DM and I could send you a link. But yes, I am definitely keeping my eyes open on a couple different things. But as of right now, with the wife doing this basement stuff, although we did find that she peeled off the baseboards in one area and have a little area that has some termite type of messes. So Honey is a good browser. Yep. The thing I always say, and Amazon does, I mean, the prices change regularly, so you definitely want to keep an eye on what's going on, that type of thing. And that's it. And that's exactly it. Yeah, Honey's a great way to do that where you're not having to think about it, because it does it for you. All right, so there's our front of our legs. We're going to keep this kind of our front of our legs. But that's also, too, I mean, if you're looking for a bigger thing, I always suggest waiting a little while just to kind of see what price fluctuations have been and what they are. What? No. Yeah, exactly. So it's actually, I've got a couple things in my cart right now that I'm just kind of keeping an eye on. I know what they are currently, and so if they should go different price, then you know, then I know it's at that point that I want to potentially make that purchase, or so. Yeah, I mean, it's all just about being kind of savvy. Oh, you know what I found is, I think it was last year or the year before, a lot of what you find on some of those really good Prime Day deals are kind of last year's stock that they still have left that they blow out. Because like I've got the Mavic Mini, the DJI Mini little drone that I got on Prime Prime Day a couple years ago, and it was basically last year. It was last year's stock. And again, I don't mind, because it saved me a bunch of money. So that didn't hurt my feelings. But yeah, you do have to be smart about it. And I think you can say that about shopping for anything, really. You just have to be smart about it. So and you can't have the mindset of, well, I'm going to buy it because it's on sale. If you don't need it, don't buy it. That's the other big thing. I have to tell myself that all the time. Otherwise, I would have $1 zillion in credit card debt. Way too much credit card debt if I did that. Is it a need or is it a want? If it's a want, is it something you can wait for? Or is it truly a deal too good to be true? Most of the time I find that with like too good to be true stuff is like the planer that my wife found, you know, as a return at Lowe's, or you know, the jointer that again was a return at Lowe's that was marked down to like $80, you know. Those types of things are where it makes, you know, it's a want, it's not necessarily a need, but the opportunity for this want is such a great, you know, difference that it definitely would, you know, that's when you take advantage of it. So all right, let's separate our front legs. And again, that's my biggest challenge, is overcoming the want of stuff. Like Rockler sent out, they've got some deals this week. One of the deals they have is the Bora has come out with a tabletop for their Centipede. Well, I've got the handy dandy little 2x4 Centipede, right? Well, they've got that on special right now. But is that really a need? No, it's not. Now, did I put it in my cart? Sure I did. Have I bought it? No, not yet. Say yet, but I have not. Because again, I don't necessarily need it. I've got a sheet of plywood that fits on there just fine. So I don't need to make that purchase at the moment. That being said, it's a multi-function top, so it's got the dog holes and stuff like that. So very handy that way, and they actually include little grippers to put it, you know, to attach it to the Centipede base, which again, super handy, but not necessarily a need at the moment. So all right, so we're gonna make sure we don't do too much goofy shaping that affects our leg sizes and shapes and stuff. So let's see if we can figure this out here. But again, if you're looking for a deal, if you found a deal that you really like tomorrow, send me a quick note. I'll happy to put together a quick affiliate link. It helps me out just a smidge. Maybe eventually I'll get a payout from Amazon. Maybe if I got off my butt and actually did like YouTube videos and stuff like that, I might be able to see more out of it. But that's okay. Now let's do the front of these legs and then we can kind of shape the rest of the body and then shape the legs and whatnot. Should actually take a quick strop break. Alright, so my dogs are going just batty at the moment. Oh, I left my phone over there. I wonder if the wife has tried texting me. Put it on our charger until we need it again later. Boy, all right. Let's see if she's here or if she's elsewhere. I think she was going to Home Depot or Lowe's or something. Spending the monies. Again. Yeah, she's at Lowe's. Oh, that's good, Cass. I know you will be. I know it's going to be such a relief, and you're going to be such a happy camper. The finish line is getting in sight. Right now, the finish line is way out of sight for us right now. Oh, that's what I was getting ready to say, is she pulled the baseboards today so she could finish patching and spackling, and I'm going to have to do some drywall patching and stuff. But at the base of one of the walls, there's basically termite droppings. So we've got our termite guy, the termite guy from the pest company is supposed to be coming out tomorrow afternoon. So we'll see how bad it is. Well, fortunately, it's only a little spot. We don't know how long it is, how long or how big of an area might be infected or affected. So we'll see. But as I think about it, I don't know if we've had a termite inspection for a while. So I know we had one when we moved in, but I don't know if I've done any since then. But yeah, since we're basically tearing everything apart downstairs, that now is the best time to do it. So yep, so tomorrow the termite man comes. All right. So hopefully, again, we're not seeing anything anywhere else, so it could be very old, would be my hope. We're not seeing any craziness or anything like that, so. But to be determined, right? So we'll see exactly what comes about in there. We'll see what comes about. Fingers crossed that doesn't start racking up itself either. let's take a quick strop break. That is probably our best bet. I'm starting to push a little hard with that knife. Whew. Holy mackerel, that's a mess. Such a mess. Yeah, that's just what I'm, not terribly looking forward to, but we'll see. Again, it doesn't look like there's much there, but won't know until they actually check it out, so. I guess the positive part is it is just a small area that we found it in the basement. So not even guaranteed. So right, just all metal. We actually had somebody build one here that's actually just used as an Airbnb. There's one down the street, actually down the street from our house. It does not fit into the area at all. But actually looks like a nice little place. So if anyone wants to come visit, let me see if I can find the Airbnb listing. I'll share it. Y'all can stay at the container home and come hang out, and we'll work in the workshop or do some resin pours or whatever. You can go up to the Peaks of Otter and visit go hiking up to the peaks, or go drive on the parkway, go see the DJ Memorial. Yeah. Let's see if I can find it. Let's hide that. See if I can find it. Okay, so those little tikis are awesome. Those are really cool. All right, let's see. Oh, I guess let's see. I'll do this. See if I can find this real quick. There it is. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. All right, so here it is. It's actually not too bad. But it's funny because when they came in, so it's actually 4 storage containers. When they first started, it was just very nondescript. But they actually set it up really nice. They actually set it up very nice. You know, a little gas fireplace, the big TV. I think it's a mini split up there. The way they take some of these pictures is amusing. Let's look down at the box with the remotes. There's a little patio out back. Not much of a yard. I mean, it's okay. There are train tracks that run behind it, but you don't see too many trains that come through. I guess you could probably pull that out if you wanted to seat 6 around the table. Probably be tight 6 there. It's a tight 4 that way. Nice little kitchen. Okay, let's see other stuff rather than this downstairs. We've seen it all, but not a bad little kitchen. You got a dishwasher, and I mean, it's literally
built within the last 5 years. So it really is kind of cool. And you can see the corrugated walls inside. You see the metal walls inside and the ceilings and stuff. That's the half bath on the main floor. The stairs that go up. So there's that little half bath right inside. They did a great job on it, Cass. They absolutely did. Here's the one of the bedrooms upstairs. And I think that's kind of the master. That's the master bath. Although I think it might be like a Jack and Jill. Yeah, it's almost a Jack and Jill type of bath. I think that's the same first bedroom. No, that's it. So how many bedrooms? 2 bedrooms. Okay, so there's 2 bedrooms, very similar. Okay, two bedrooms. Okay, so 2 king beds. I guess they actually do have a washer dryer. So, real nice place. And I mean, it's done very, very well. But literally, it's not their... I mean, it is literally an Airbnb. It was built to be an Airbnb. Yep. So, but it's neat. And it's literally right around the corner from my house. So I drive by it pretty much every day if I go that route. So, all right, let's get back to our alpaca. Let's see, that's right. I'm gonna round the bum a little bit more. It's a little square still. But yeah, it looks really nicely done. It was just such an interesting thing when it was being built because it's like, this just does not seem to fit this area. And there's actually it seems to be a lot more expensive than most of the other stuff in the area too. But it is a very unique property, which is good. I mean, I think that's what you're trying to go for when you've got those types of places. So. So it looks like that might be their kind of full-time gig-ish type of thing, is Airbnbs. So, actually, last night I follow Cheap Old Houses on Instagram, and they had shared a while back, or I guess actually, maybe it was this week, but they shared that there's a place up in Maine that's part of the historical, like, National Park Service, that they're soliciting proposals for basically I think like a 60-year lease. If you agree to live there and fix up the site, I guess. So, but man, it's right up on that Canadian border, like way northeast Maine type of thing. Looks like a neat place, but oof, also looking at one of it, there's scraping and painting was almost $250,000 is the estimate that they received, I guess, on doing that work. I was like, holy mackerel, that seems insane. But I guess whatever. All right, so we got to get more roundness. More roundness. bit right here. A little bit there. Let's take a little bit more on the bottom here. Oh, my light just died. Haha. Ooh, you know what? I'm curious. Can I do this? I've got an idea here real quick. Gotta get some juice to this light. Let's see if I can make this work. See if my little plan here. There we go. Sometimes I am very smart. Other times, not so much. This is a smart time. All right, let's see. Let's try and carve our front neck. Try and trim as much of this in there as possible. All right, let's see. So the wife, as I mentioned, is doing this basement thing. We've been purging. Lots of purging. Which is not a bad thing. And I think, I don't want to say hoarding necessarily kind of runs in the family, but the collecting of stuff I think happens. And it's not just, you know, I think it happens anywhere to an extent, but I do have a tendency to be that dad that has, you know, oh, well, I might use that cable at some point, right? So we have some of those types of things. And, although it was funny because I guess they would, part of the big area down here is the kid had a desk down here where we had her, you know, where she had all of her art stuff and her creative area. And her task one day was to go through and clean up and get rid of stuff that she doesn't use or doesn't want. Well, she went nuts and was basically getting rid of like a lot of stuff. And wife had to say, whoa, you kind of slow down a little bit because some of the stuff we can actually give to folks that might use it. You know, let's not just completely toss it out the window, but oh, have you been sitting on it that long, Cass? That's so frustrating. Oh, dude, that is extremely frustrating. You think you could maybe sell it on Marketplace or something? Might be able to at least get some money back out of it. Yeah, I would say you'd probably be able to get some money out of it. We've actually had a lot of luck with that. I actually sold my little that Harbor Freight mini table saw. Man, that was a back and forth on that sucker. Way more time involved in trying to sell and get rid of that stupid thing than it was worth. Finally got rid of it yesterday. Finally got rid of it yesterday. But like, dude that wanted to buy it's in about an hour away. It's like, oh, my sister lives in Forest, and maybe we can get, and put her in touch with you and work out a time to get it to her or this, that, or the other. Well, he messaged me, I think Friday night. I think it was Friday night. It's like, hey, I'm in town and blah, 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 blah. And I was out in the workshop. He messaged me about 8:30. Hey, we're over here going here. Is there anywhere we can meet up? And I didn't see it for like an hour afterwards. I was like, bro, I am so sorry I missed your message. Let me know. So I don't blame you there, Cass. If you've got the ability to put your car in for winter, put your car in for winter. We actually don't even have a garage. All right, so let's do this real quick. We're going to do... See, the thing that I want to say kind of dreading, she wants to just tear the carpet off the stairs that go upstairs from the basement here. And just, I don't know, paint them maybe? I don't know what she necessarily truly wants to do. But it's like, well, you just remember, you tear that carpet off, you've got to live with whatever's underneath there. I guarantee it's not hardwood. They're basement stairs. They're not going to be pretty. So... it's like, you might want to wait until you have a chance to do it all in one swoop, get it all off, and take it to the dump. That way it's not sitting around. Leave it outside where it rains and then gets heavy as anything. Which is what we ended up having to do with our old carpet when we moved into the place, is we had to roll off in the driveway so that we could put it all in there. Well, of course it rained, so what happens? It soaks up all that water. So I'm sure we had a nice hefty bill from the dump when they took it. But yeah, drywall dust is brutal too. Oh my gosh. Talk about a fine dust that just gets in everything. Learned that lesson when my wife did our bedroom bathroom upstairs a little bit ago. All right, so we definitely want to taper the neck in. Oy. Howdy, Plume. How are you doing? I am making a little llama for Gigi, for young girl. Made a mess earlier tonight over on the resin table. Now we're going to make this little llama for Gigi. So we're doing kind of the big roughing out. I'm trying my best right now not to go too hog wild, because I have a tendency to amputate things. And the last thing I want to do is start over. She will, and I've been meaning to do this for a while. Been meaning to do it for a while and have just gotten sidetracked. All right, let's see here. How are you, Plume? Deep Sea was here, but I think Deep Sea is eating dinner. This is true, Cass. No amputations. That's what we're going for. So here's the funny thing, actually. Its neck is not much different than its body in terms of thickness. Maybe a little thinner, but it also goes all the way up to the cheeks and then comes in at the, like, poof on the head. So I need to just kind of, yeah, we're just going to kind of shape, I guess, now. So your work week doesn't start till Tuesday, which is not a bad thing. I hope. Yeah, this is a rare Monday stream for me. Usually, I don't stream on Mondays. Usually I'm a Tuesday streamer. But this week we've got too many other things happening that Tuesday's kind of out for streaming for me. Same with Thursday. So we're going to do Monday, Wednesday this week. And try and make the best of it. It is going to be a little wonky because... Oh, no, you know what? I need to make sure I straighten down this side over here because it was sloped on that way. Well, there you go. Yeah. Enjoy the extra day. That's right. Sapphire, welcome in. Thank you for that hydrate, the breathe, and it probably is stropping time in all reality. Just did one a little bit ago, but I think it probably is stropping time. Maybe we keep that little, like, it's got a little lean. Do we keep the little lean? I think we keep the little lean. We have like a little lean. We'll make sure the legs don't look too wonky, but I think that little lean is actually kind of fun. Kind of little attitude. Llama with attitude. There's our hydrate. Oh, I gotta not do that when I've got crumbs, when I've got chips on the table. Take a little breath there. Actually, you know what? We should do that. When we do a breathe, we should do like a little breathing exercise together. Just a little like kind of calm, relaxing meditation type of breathing. Not a big meditation person, but I do believe in breathing in terms of calming yourself and centering yourself. So maybe we should do that when we do our breathe. Just do a little quick little couple minute little take a moment to in for 4, out for 4. That type of thing. Although I need to actually practice talking about it, but we also always drop. Almost had a heart attack. Sapphire, first, you better be taking care of yourself, and I'm glad to hear that you're actually going to the doctor. Holy mackerel, that's not good. You need to make sure to take care of yourself. You've got a little peanut that needs you around. So please take care. Please keep us updated too. So part of my breathing has always been instrument focused and maximizing the amount of air in my lungs. So usually it's in through my mouth, out through my mouth, which can also cause you to pass out, which is not a good thing necessarily. And there's different styles as well. So, Sapphire, absolutely. Have I not shared my terrible dad moment I have one that absolutely is a terrible dad moment. And when she was an infant. Sorry, I got an itchy eyeball. We used a bottle warmer. My wife she was never able to latch, and breastfeeding just never worked. So, I don't know if I have or not, but we used a bottle warmer. And so one night I had duty. We used to trade off. So I had the first shift or whatever at some point, and the little bottle warmer had the water. You'd put we'd have the bottle pre-made in the fridge. We'd shake it up, put it in the bottle warmer, and warm it up. Well, we put I put a double dose. Like, I guess we had already filled it. But then I filled it again. So it was basically a double dose of the water to heat up. So it heated up twice as long. And yeah, scalded the kid in the mouth. So that was not fun. Now ask me again in like 10, 15 years when she's an adult and on her own, if there's a situation that comes up that I could have entirely prevented it, that was entirely my fault, then if I could have prevented, I don't know. We'll see. At the age of 15 right now, it's hard to tell. So we'll see what happens when she's an adult and on her own, and whatever else comes about, So. Ours, she was a pain. We actually used to have to, when she first came home, she just did not eat. She just did not eat at all. We still could not figure, she still doesn't eat a ton. I mean, she will when she's hungry now, and it's a lot better than when she was a kid. But we used to actually have to use, basically syringe feed her when she first came home, where we actually had a little tube that we would attach to our finger, not attach, but like hold in our finger, so she would suckle on our finger. We'd be lucky if she took 2 ounces. It would be a good day if she took 2 ounces, or a good feeding when she took 2 ounces at a time. So that was something that was very unnerving, as a new parent. You expect your kid to eat, Like, what'd my mom say? She was feeding me cereal and stuff by like a month, maybe. And I was, they used to call me Buddha baby. That was always the family's nickname for me, was the Buddha baby. I was a chubby little boy. But that's what the doctors told her back then too, though. That's the other thing to keep in mind, is the doctors told her back then that, however many weeks in, that's when you start on cereal and that type of stuff. So and solids and that, yeah, just very interesting. Solids in that, not just formula. So all right, so let's see if we can kind of shape what we want here as a head. Let's go in here. Trying to get our snoutish area. Oh, yeah, but you know what? There's a lot worse things that can happen than that. A nice little warm bath to warm her up and unsticky her. Yeah. And yeah, you do feel bad. I mean, believe me, as parents, we make these goofy little things. We do these, stuff like that happens. But that is, by all means, that is such a minor thing. But yes, we do. As parents, we do those types of things, and we beat ourselves up over it, because it's like, how could I have been so dumb? People get mad, and I understand. People get mad about leaving infants in cars. Yes, it is a horrible thing, and I am not making light of any type of that situation at all. It is not a good thing, and you know, parents need to be aware and all those types of things. But I can totally see and understand how a person can forget that they put a kid in the back seat. When you are that tired, as most, you know, new parents are, and you get yourself out of your routine, because that's usually when it happens, is when they're out of their routine. I can see how it can happen. Yeah, Jack, especially single parents. Absolutely, especially single parents. But if you get something that puts you out of your routine and just not what you're used to, I totally see how it happens. And I can understand, and I grieve with them, because nobody, I mean, yes, there are those sick individuals who don't have that care for their kid, right? But it is very rare that a parent does not have that love for their kid and that concern for their kid. You know that they're just beating themselves up over that. Yeah. And so Sapphire, that right there is the big thing, is you guys work together as a team to fix that, though. And oftentimes they'll say the best thing you can do, especially if they're cold and shivering like that, is try not to even dress them, but to keep them, you know, put skin to skin. I mean, I think that's what they tell you, like, even with like hypothermia and stuff, is the skin to skin. Don't try and put clothes on, because that doesn't really help. It's the body heat that helps transfer that warmth and stuff. So yeah, don't beat yourself up over that. I mean, it happens. It happens. We all do those types of things. Gosh, when we got Hars home, we were told to basically put her in the window because she had jaundice. Tinkerer, welcome in, buddy. Tinker, I did tell you that the one board I sold at the last market was the one that was the shrunken board because of the table saw sled. I think I told you that one. I think I remember sharing that one with you, since you were sharing with my my misery of trying to get that stupid thing made. Oh goodness, yeah, Sapphire, absolutely. Well, and see that right there, you guys have a great teamwork, great partnership there to help you both through that. So that's awesome. It really is awesome. It is the random tinkerer. That is, you know, perfection. Sometimes it's the little things that we think of, that we don't think about. And, you know, yep, just amusing. To me, it was just very amusing. It's like, that's a funny thing. I'm gonna have fun with that. All right, so here's the challenge again. I'm gonna have to sand this guy to get rid of this transition mark. The nice part, though, Sapphire, is you did have you did have both there, so. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you're comfortable with it, then you should do that. Thanks, Tinker. Actually, I should show it off. I should have showed it off on the other camera. Maybe when we pull the pour out later, I'll show it off again. What time is it? Not even 9 yet. There we go. We got a little bit of time. We'll try and finish up this little llama. Then we'll probably pull that pour. I'll show that carving off. I can understand the feeling. I can understand it. Now, is it more you hate it because it's always been good for you, but you hate it? So why? I guess, yeah, explain that to me, because I'm trying to think how I wanted to ask this question, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to ask the question how I want to ask it, or how I intend to ask it, I should say. Not how I want to ask it, but how I intend to ask it. Who's got Gigi's llama emote? There it is. All right, that's a big bounce. Just a big bulbous head with the ears kind of hanging out. So let's see if we can get that going. I'm trying to think how I want to ask that question. And it's not because it's a rude question that I want to ask. It's just I'm trying to figure out the way to phrase it that would make the most sense. I don't know if I can phrase it the way that my brain is thinking about it. But I know my wife is kind of like, so we have the kid, so oh my word. So I'm going to say part of that might be the therapist you're seeing. I'm actually going to go out on that limb there, because I think the therapist job, if they're decent at their job is to get you talking and to get you comfortable with them. And I understand where you're coming from. It's like, why, I don't want to be paying. I don't want to be, if you're there for medication, and you know it's medication that you need and that's what you're seeking, again, I think that's something that, yeah. And Cass, I would agree. I think there are definitely bad therapists. Yes, I would agree. But I think, it's the therapist's job to get you talking. And to get you, one, to make you feel comfortable, to help you feel comfortable. I shouldn't say to make you feel comfortable, but to help you feel comfortable, because they shouldn't be making you do anything. They should be helping you get to that point. All right, I need to move to something else. Oh, I think it's time to resharpen that flex cut blade. But I mean, it's their job to get you to that point. And if they're not, then yeah, they might not be a very good therapist. Yeah, see, we need to. Yeah, and Sapphire, I completely understand all of that. Absolutely understand all of that. Absolutely. And I think that right there would probably be a huge help, is if you could find someone that you feel comfortable with. I mean, that's kind of one of the situations we're in right now, is the kid has been going through therapy, which is why I didn't stream on Wednesdays prior. And we thought that she had a pretty solid relationship, a pretty solid connection with her therapist or counselor. Now, granted, we're not very fond of how the office runs, because we schedule a time and then it's not the right time, and this, that, or the other. Anyway, so that's another thing, but a little unorthodox. Uh-oh. That could be good and bad, yes. That could be good and bad. All right, so I want to kind of get this little goofy. I need to bring the snout out. So let's see if we can kind of. If I can kind of. Let's do this way. We're gonna have to go this way. I guess that would be the other thing. What is the unorthodox aspect? Tomorrow night, my goal off stream is to get the couple pieces that I did. And so I mean that right there is another challenge. But again, if she's good, so Sapphire, here's my thoughts. If she's good at what she does, yet unorthodox, obviously she's gonna, if she's good at what she does, she's gonna make you feel comfortable. She's gonna help you feel comfortable. I gotta stop using the term make. She's gonna help you feel comfortable. If you don't, then obviously that's the next step. And I think that's the thing most people need to realize when they do that, when they seek out a therapist, is there has to be a connection there, because you are going to be sharing, you're going to be sharing very candid and personal conversations. Damn, Cass. I mean, I understand some folks that are like, okay, well, if you're going to keep talking about it, just go do it. Because they know that the person doesn't have the won't actually do it. But at the same point, that's like, holy crap, what in the world? Oh shit. Yeah, see, that would be a lawsuit right there. Holy crap, Cass. I hope the family actually... Good night. Some people I don't think are cut out for the jobs that they take either. Like that therapist. Good night, Cass. Right? The reverse psychology? Yeah. Well, yeah, Cass, that's a very true statement. They are human. And just like medicine, it's a practice. Not everything is going to be exactly the way it's, it is anticipated. All right, so I want to get this little poof around the hair, like right around its eyeball area. I think I need to trim out the snout just a little bit more as well. Well, and that, Cass, that right there is a big, I mean, the people's brains are, I mean, I think the world around us tells us that there's a lot that we're never going to understand inside people's heads. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just take kind of that same cut all the way around, kind of trim down this spot. Free fall, it's a llama / alpaca. basically kind of going with the little fun emote that GG has, Freefall. But howdy, welcome in. I'm glad that you can kind of tell what it is. I'm hoping. I'm just going fun with that fun little shape. And let's see. Let's see if we can clean this up over here a little bit more. This side needs a little bit flatter, so let's see if I can get that. Then we'll start rounding it off, cleaning up some of these cut marks and stuff like that. How are you tonight, Freefall? Nice. Well, good. I'm glad. Well, that means that hopefully my carving's getting better, that we can actually figure out what it is I'm carving. We got to carve its legs and shape its body a little bit more, but what I want to try and do is get this little kind of indentation here. So let's see. It's a little bit above the eye, or right a little bit above the snout. So let's see if we can do this. We're going to just put a little stop line. We're just going to kind of do a little bit of a V cut if we can, to get our little poof there. Just try and shape that up a little bit. Yeah, Sapphire, that is extremely true. And again, that's the hard part. And I think that's where that connection comes into play. If you think everybody's going to come in the same exact way with the same exact responses and stuff like that, I think you're sorely mistaken. And I think, again, that goes back to why I say, you know, I think if you can find a therapist who helps you feel comfortable, then, you know, that's where you kind of want to stay, you know, and try and work that as well. So let's see if we can carry this around. Let's see. Let's see if I can get again. Let's see. There we go. All right. Let's see. I'll see. There you go. Well, and I think, you know, I think that's, first off, I think that's one of the great things that this community has in this platform. You know, I think one, we're able to connect to each other and share, because there's not that awkwardness of, you know, it's not that staring at each other face to face like you would kind of in a therapist office, right? It's funny, but I'm going to tell you this now, and I don't know if I shared it on my stream or we talked about it elsewhere. But as your being grows and gets older, some of your best conversations and most impactful conversations are going to happen in the car. And the reason that is because you're not sitting there at a table, looking across the table, staring at each other in the eyes and having to make awkward eye contact. Some of the most impactful and lasting conversations that you'll have will be in the car, because you can have those conversations not looking at each other. And it freaked. I remember it freaked 29 Fireflies out when I talked about that the other day, a while back. About just the awkward conversations that we have in the car. Awkward like life conversations. I mean, like the birds and the bees and all this, that, or the other. Best time to do those is in the car when you're not staring at each other. Actually, I guess we do need to put a little bit of a V-cut right in here. There you go. See? All right, let's kind of round out his face a little bit more so he's not quite as he or she, they, or it is not quite as robotic-ish. Clean up some of the excess stuff around here. Yeah, and I'll tell you, so I mean, trying to have it face to face over, in the bedroom or at the kitchen table or something like that. I mean, one, you're making it awkward for yourself. You're making it awkward for the kid. The best place to have those conversations is totally in the car. I mean, golly, I'll tell you, some of the best times I remember recently with the kid are, during pandemic when we would go up to the mountain, late at night, it's just her and I in the car, and we'd have very good conversations about stuff. And stuff that she doesn't feel comfortable talking to her mom about, she'll talk to me about. And I'm sure she does the same thing with her mom. But, I'm fortunate for the ones that we have, so. We'll have 5 hours this weekend, or this week. So. All right, so we kind of have our little poof on the head there. Let's see if I can get his ears, and then we'll focus on his body and his legs, and we'll demold our resin. And that's the other thing. You do it in the car so they can't run away. They can't. Now, granted, nowadays they're distracted by their phone, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. But overall, we can still have those conversations. All right, so now let's go at an angle right here to kind of get. There we go. That's what I want to do. Yeah, there's certain things, I think I guess the best way to phrase this, I'm less prude than my wife. A few more life experiences in that sense. But I can't always answer some of the other questions that she would have that my wife can. So. For goodness sakes, we know there's a lot of questions that I can't answer. So, all I can do is do my best to provide as good an answer as I can, if it's something I feel comfortable trying to answer. Yeah, I mean, it's Gigi's got the funniest story, and I love it. And I'm not going to tell it because I tell it terribly. About her and her dad having a conversation after she came back from college one day or something like that. And it's a great story about, you know, how we as dads just, when it comes to our little girls, we don't want to have some of those conversations. So, all right, so I want to make, let's see if I can, I'm going to separate these ears in the middle first, and then we'll shape them a little bit more. Now, we as dads definitely don't want to think of our little girls that way. But we also have to, we do have to, though. I mean, that's the other hard part, is we do have to. Because they're not going to stay little girls forever. I will say this, please don't get onto the princess thing. Oh my gosh. That's the thing that drives me nuts more than anything else with some parents and their girls, their little girls. So, oh, she's my little princess. You might treat her like a little princess, but man, for goodness sakes, don't let her believe that she's it's probably a terrible way to phrase it, but don't let her believe she's a princess, because then they get into that attitude. All right, let's see if I can. Ooh, that's going to be dangerous. Oh, but maybe not. Maybe I'm getting good at this. What? Cass, don't let me get a big head over here, please. Getting good at this. What am I thinking? So there was a great kids song when ours was little. The Princess Who Saved Herself. Such a great kids tune. Because we used to listen to Kids Place Live. But The Princess Who Saved Herself is the song, and it's such a great tune. Talks about a dragon and this, that, or the other. It's really, really fun. It was a really fun tune. I'm trying to remember who sang it. But on screen, it's ginormous. I do not have a big head. Come on now. I do not have a big head. I really don't. Unless you are talking on screen, when yes, it is just a big monstrous noggin up there. All right, let's see here. Okay, now let's shape this a little bit more up top. Got to try not to take huge honking chunks out. Literally and metaphorically. Let's see here. All right, let's see. How big did I go here? Oh, actually, that's just about right. There we go. Let's go here. Your two nephews are scared to death of their sister. There you go. See, observer, that's the way it should be. There we go. I like that. I think that's a good little... I think there's some good little ears right there. There was the other one. There's another one that came out a couple years ago. That was a pop song. Like a whole girl power pop song, which I really liked. Again, as a girl dad. Again, I hate kind of the boy mom and girl dad type of thing. But I am a girl dad. I really enjoyed that one. Golly, what was the name of that song? Basically, she runs faster than the boy. If you don't like that I run faster than you, that I, do this, that, or the other better. Basically, it was like Tough Noogies type of thing, but a very, very girl power-ish type of song. I like that one. Can't remember the name of it. That one came out a couple years ago when the kid was playing lacrosse. So, all right, I've got to shape these legs. I think our head area is pretty good. Might do a little sanding on these little rough spots and stuff, but we got to make some legs. Oh, there you go, Observer Mama Bird. That's right. She probably has more patience out there than they do, don't they? More focus, more patience. Is she oldest? Is she the oldest Mama Bird? All right, let's... Basically what I'm going to kind of do with the legs is I want to make two little like round little sticks basically. I also need to shape this body a little bit more, so I'm not going to do that. We're going to take out the Drake. I like that one for these types of cuts. She's the middle child. Really interesting. So part of my undergrad degree was an emphasis in psychology, which is I'm just so always interested in a lot of that type of stuff. And the whole middle child thing. It's an interesting play right there. Usually middle children are seeking the attention. And sometimes that kind of manifests itself in that type of personality there. The drive to be good and to be better than the others. To get that attention. This is an area right here. It's just not an easy way to clean that up. I just got mail, y'all. All right. What I'm trying to do is basically clean up the grain on the outside grain here. I think we got it though. Get a little bit over here as well. Let's see. All right, so, nope, gotta go up, not down into the grain. So I'm the oldest, just two of us. Yeah, so so free fall, I think there's two different ways I think middle children go about it. One is that one right there, under the radar. You know, the older child is usually the overachiever, the one that gets, you know, why can't you be more like him or her? And the younger is the baby, who often gets more attention. Also depends on age gap too, I think. Age gap is another thing that plays into it. All right, let's kind of separate our legs real quick. We'll work on shaping them, because I was the good child, which gave my sister lots of leeway when she was growing up, because my parents didn't have to worry about me doing, you know, getting in trouble. I was not the troublemaker. I did not get in trouble. Yes, there were times I got in trouble, but I wasn't a, you know, consistent troublemaker and, you know, that type of thing. So, which gave my sister a lot more leeway as she grew up. We were only 2 years apart, so it wasn't like there was a huge difference in it. But I think if you definitely have a huge gap, it makes a different type of thing. But yeah, I think some middle children are just that. They kind of, you know, float by, try not to rock the boat. Right? But at the same time, don't seek out attention. But there are others who, because the older is the, you know, golden child, and the younger is, you know, the baby who gets all the attention. You know, some of those children in the middle sometimes will act out to try and get attention, good or bad. Some of them, you know, sometimes it's the good attention where, you know, they overachieve and, you know, try and become the favorite child based on their actions. You know, doing things and some of that type of stuff, but family dynamics are always interesting, though, too. All right, so we're gonna take the legs a little bit away from the body, or down outside away from the body, down away from the body on the outside. That's kind of what I want these legs to look like right there on the outside. So now, let's see if I can shape the rest of the inside of that leg to be where I want it to be. Let's see if I can use this one. That right there, I think, is the difference. Because she probably got along very well with her older brother for a long time. And then the baby came along. And 7 years is a big age gap. All right, I was just about to try and scratch my ear with the knife in my hand. That probably would have resulted in me stabbing my head. So, anyway. There we go. All right, there's that one. Again, we're just gonna kind of leave little stumpy legs there. Let's see if we can get at this angle here. Now, I would actually kind of be cutting the same way if I didn't have the Band-Aid on, just because I'm keeping the blade almost pressed against my thumb as I'm carving anyway. But it's not necessarily the best manner to do that, so I will rely on my exclamation point stabby command in that situation right there. So, do as I say, not as I do. Alright, now let's separate our back feet. There you go, Mama Bird. No, not really, Cass. I mean, 3 hours is what I've been going lately. Just an odd day for me to be doing it. 3 hours is usually what I shoot for. I used to, so when I first started, Cass, yes, I used to shoot for a 2-hour stream. But now, kind of getting in the groove of things, I think 3 hours is usually what I try for. Gives things a chance to kind of get going and that type of thing. Now, a couple weeks ago, as I was getting ready for the market at the beginning of the month, I did like almost a 5-hour stream, 4.5, 5-hour stream. Kings rated in at like 11 o'clock or 10:30, 11 o'clock. It was just, holy mackerel, it was crazy. So, that was a long stream. This one, not too bad. This is about average. We'll finish up in probably 15 minutes or so. 15, 20 minutes. Well, free fall there, right there is a, I mean, that's the speaks, or was it walk softly, carry big stick? What is it? Speak softly, carry big stick type of thing. I've usually, well, I don't know if I've been that way or not, but I'm not one of the outspoken people, I'll say that much. And it can definitely surprise people if they're like, whoa, wait a second, where'd that come from? Oh, dude. So free fall. Here's somebody that I found kind of fallen into because that I really enjoy watching his videos is Rain Man Ray on YouTube. I don't know if you follow him at all on YouTube or not. Really enjoy watching Rain Man Ray. He's a service tech down in Florida. And really enjoy his videos. I know it's the last thing you probably want to do when you get home. Is watch another, watch a mechanic and work on cars. But I like his videos. Talks about how he goes through diagnosis of stuff and stuff, and for vehicles for maintenance and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. Let's clean up this other leg, and I think we're going to call the llama done. Our llama alpaca done. Let's clean up this over here. Actually, now that I look at it, we got this. There we go. That's better. All right, let's see. Let's get it from this angle. It's kind of like if you were at a table saw and you wanted to make a circle out of a square. You start by cutting off the edge or the corner. Go around and you cut those corners. Then you cut the next corner till you almost get to where you have no corners left. And that's how we make circles. I can't say I blame you. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. I enjoyed it when I was a kid. I enjoyed working on my car. I don't mind working on it now. There's not much that you can do on most cars now. I mean, I guess you can still do the main big stuff, but with how crammed into the engine bay everything is, golly, it just makes things so hard to do anymore. Like the spark plugs on my Subaru. It's like, okay, well, in order to do that, you have to take this out, and you have to this and this and that and the other. It's like, nope. All right, I will pay. I will gladly pay them to do that. There we go. There's our little llama for Gigi, or alpaca llama. I'm gonna call it an alpaca llama. Alpaca. Anyway, there we go. Doop-a-doop. All right, let's clean up this. We're gonna strap our tools real quick, and then we'll go over and finish by pulling out our stuff from the pressure pot. Pulling out our pour. Oh, I'll show that off in a second, Cass. I think it turned out pretty well. We painted it on Saturday. It's not a giraffe. You have the only giraffe, Tank. The only giraffe in existence that I have carved is yours. That's for Gigi. This is for Gigi. And I saw that somebody gifted me a sub to your channel last night. And I'm sorry I missed your channel last night. I hope it was a good stream last night, Tink. I hope you had fun with it. That's the best part, or the most important part. I hope you had fun with it. Yeah, I can understand that. Freefall, I can completely understand that. I like Vice Grip Garage. I like watching Derek work on that when he goes through the the process he goes through to get a car running that's been sitting forever and that type of thing. I like watching that. Actually, I need to put some more compound on here. So I like watching him do his thing. Sapphire, have a good night. I hope your appointment goes well. Look forward to catching up with you again soon. And please don't beat yourself up. We all do it. We're all parents. We all make mistakes. And all good. We learn from it. And it makes us better parents. So keep it up. You're doing a great job. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You're doing an amazing job. And it sounds like you have an amazing partner to help you in the process too. So keep it up. Keep it up. Isn't that funny how that happens sometimes, Tink? Sometimes you can be cranking out the best stuff and then all of a sudden a yeet and it just downhill. Or you start with just the headaches and it's like, oh, I just want to get up at this point. But you stick with it and go on a little bit longer. And boom. You turn that corner and start cranking out some pretty sweet stuff, right? Isn't that funny how that happens? Really is amusing. Because I've been there on both sides of it. It's like, ugh. And as I told Random Tinker earlier, Random Tinker was in open shop time with the other night, a couple weeks ago, as I was trying to square up a board using my sled. My sled's not square. So, I was frustrated. Finally gave up on the sled. Took it to just my miter gauge. Squared up, shrunk it down, squared it up, and off I went. And that was the only board that I sold at that market that week. So I have not, Cass. I have. Where did I see him post something the other day? I think I saw him post something on Instagram the other day, very briefly or something like that. But I know his new job, I think, definitely took him out of the house a lot more than what he was. Well, I think he also at that time when he was streaming, when I got back on, I think he was in between jobs or something. So another one is Gangles, but Gangles seems to be in a growing place, and I think is getting back to turning some more. I know there was some personal issues he was dealing with, but that seems to be he seems to be moving on from that pretty well, which is a good thing. So oh, was it really? Yeah, Crinks was awesome. Crink was a lot of fun. Beautiful work. Golly, beautiful work. I'm trying to remember. I thought I saw him post something somewhere the other day, but I'll be darned if I can remember. So yeah, Crinks was fun. So was Gangles. Gangles was very talented turner. Gangles was. But again, you know, sometimes life takes over sometimes, and we just have to understand and accept it. And, you know, while we may not like the path it takes us on, you know, or it might take us away from something we enjoyed doing, I should say. You know, the hope is that we can work our way back to it. So, oh, he was doing great with the Kamiko. Oh my gosh, yeah. Thinks was doing killer stuff with the Kamiko. All right, so here is our llama for Gigi. Our llama alpaca, kind of like her little emote. Which I think is fun. I wanted to do it like that. So. All right, let's put this stuff away. And we're going to switch cameras. I'm going to grab my cell phone cam. I'm going to mute my mic. Unmute my other mic. That one's unmuted. Come on.
There we go. That's better. We're going to walk over here. Take a look at our mess. Ooh, we made a mess. Golly, we made a mess. Let's see how easy this comes up. Not so easy. Look at that. Golly, that was just not smart. It's a little tacky. And we may want to leave it. Well, definitely tacky. That's why we left it on there. With that guy. I think it's going to be time to, what's the word I'm looking for? Completely clean up this mat. Let's see. I want to make sure we... Alright, there's that. I want to seal that up if I can. I need to find a better way to plug that up. I wonder if... I don't know if that's going to be the best option there. Maybe it will be. Put that in there. I'm going to wrap tape like I normally do. Well, let's see. So someone else that was a big part of the community when I first started too was eJim. But he and Dreaming are actually, I think actually, if they haven't had theirs yet, they're expecting. But eJim and Dreaming of YouTube were a big part of me getting started. Double R, what is up, my dude? How are you doing tonight? Getting ready to actually pull. We're going to pull our pour out of our pressure pot. See if we can get some more light down there. Let's see. Let's turn this off. Let's pop this guy off of there. And time to release. Free fall, that is a very true statement. Kids change everything. They certainly do. We get down to close there, so. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, Double R. I just appreciate the opportunity to stream. It's been, recently things have been a little crazy, so. Boydo, how you doing, my friend? We're just actually right now pulling our pour out. I made a good little mess earlier, so we actually will have not enough in our couple of our pieces here. But we did some red and black with a little bit of silver. So like this one here is supposed to be yeah. We also had way too much overpour on a couple of these pieces. Been pretty good, Boyd. How about you? How did your stream finish up? Yeah, it's going to be time for a new board. I have to cut a new board out there. I'm going to get a razor blade though and cut this right quick. I had a request that I need to show off the work from this weekend, so I'm going to do that real quick, Boyd. I need to turn this back on, actually. Yeah, I need to actually get like a, was it PTFE or something like that? I need to get something like that. Since the bottom of this pot is not flat, should actually just bring that out. But we got a handful of pieces here. Oh man, did it really, Boyd? That is getting very frustrating. Alright, so let's do this. Put this table here. So we've got, this one is our Sierra pencil. Yeah, this is our Sierra pencil. Ooh, that's not good as I look at this one. Man, that pressed down and we've got some gaps on the sides there. But I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I would definitely be starting to lean on them if we're getting. So, did you trip another? Did you break another or trip another break? Because if that's the case, man, that definitely seems like something's going on there, and I would definitely be leaning on them. These are, Boyd. Yep, these are. These are. So, my September market is the same weekend as the 50th anniversary of the high school, the local high school. And so I don't have any school color pens yet for them. So the downside is I'm starting to get a little thick with my large pours in terms of timing. And so I think my silvers are not really going through, but oh man, that is extremely frustrating. Triggering before it even turns on. So that's that one. There's that. That's part of. Let's pull this cigar out real quick. Yeah. So as I started pouring my cigar here, I went overboard. I poured a little heavy and spilled it all over the counter here, which we actually have already. Actually, it's rolled up here in the cup. I'm glad it's not another break because, man, that can start getting expensive. But, yeah, I hope they're able to help you sort that out. That's extremely frustrating. Something sticky there. Yeah, this is my... Oh, sorry. Thank you. There we go. Thank you for that reminder. I forgot that I turned it down to look at the... as we were taking it out of the pot itself. But I am a big fan of the tube-in molds. I think Walnut and I were talking about that briefly one of the other days on stream. I just think it makes life so much easier. Yeah, it was shoe cam. Not yet. I actually need to show that off. People have asked about the finished product that didn't get to see it on Saturday, so I have it right next to me. But I want to get these undone first, and then we'll show that off before we raid out tonight. I think Shannigan should be on, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't had the chance to raid Shannigan's in a while. So... I mean, I don't have to. I mean, we can say it's somebody else, too. I mean, I did not put a face on it, so... Let's see. So we have our little... Oh, actually, there is no little... Oh, that's right there. Nah, you know what? That press there, not too bad. Oh, you taking a look at my shorts? You like my shorts there, Viking? Let's see if we can zoom in a little. So, all right, so there's our cigar. Man, I made a mess. Oh my gosh, such an overpour on that. I wasted enough to would have been in there. So, the thing. You could almost interpret that as something completely different too, if we wanted to. So these are a couple Sierras. And I'm hoping, what I'm really hoping is that my long one didn't compress too much on the tube. So let me see something real quick. I might have to... No, we're right on the brass. Yeah, I don't think that one's going to work. I got to stop doing my... super clicks in there. My longer Sierra tubes, they're just not long enough in here. So that little